to Zero Clicks. I'm your host, Jaren, and I am here with the CEO of Catania Product Development, Stefani Catania. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Catania Product Development is an engineering and product design company based out of right here at Groundswell Startups, and sometimes they're based out of a boat, but we'll get into that later. Zero Clicks is brought to you by Neat, a better way to meet on Zoom and Microsoft Teams. We're a customer of Neat, so if you're curious, come check them out at Groundswell Startups. Neat's simple, elegant video devices are available at Call One. Call One has helped Florida organizations simplify access to business technology for over 35 years. Ask them about Neat today and visit them at calloneinc.com/neat. So Stefani, tell us a little bit about your background as an engineer and an entrepreneur.
So I went to UCF and got a mechanical engineering degree, and then had 10, 15 years in the industry, variety of companies, L3 Harris, before it was L3, JRC Integrated Systems, Lockheed Martin, a variety of things from product management, program management, systems engineering, a whole host of engineering. Got a ton of experiences, and then decided that I had kids by that point and needed a little bit more of a flexible life, and wanted to give back a little bit more than I was able to do in industry. So we started our own company, so me and my husband, Ray and I started our company, and that was 4 years ago. So now we're doing good.
Growing. We're going to talk about hiring. Yeah. We're going to talk about all that stuff, that work-life balance. And you work with a lot of companies in our ecosystem. The great benefit of entrepreneurs coming to Groundswell with an idea is that you're going to get connected to vetted resources like Stefani and Ray, who really know the ins and outs of product development, design, and making things for manufacturing. So you've worked with SwiftPause, you've worked with Tomahawk Robotics, you work with Anderson Connectivity. So tell us a little bit about how you work with companies here and some of those projects.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Groundswell is amazing. You particularly amazing about connecting people together with whatever we need. Not only like me as a service, if I need something, I come and say, hey, what service I'm looking for X, and help me find it. But when we get connected to companies here, they're most often people coming out of Groundswell are inventors. So we typically work with inventors or businesses. And the inventor side is the fun side because they're coming with a cool product, cool idea. They're really excited and motivated to get something done and made. And we make that happen. So we start with something as simple as just an idea. So they'll have let's say they have a fun idea that they want to get done. They have no idea how to make it happen. So we'll do a few concepts for them, give them some concepts and say, here's some path forward, what do you think? And then we just go with it from that. Once they decide that they want to do a concept, we'll sign a contract with them. And then we go from there and we do prototype development for them, and then we help them to get a full functioning working prototype. And once the full functioning working prototype is done and ready and they're off and running with it, we then help transition them to contract manufacturers.
Very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe SwiftPause?
Yeah.
What you're doing with them?
Yeah, so right now SwiftPause is super fun. We're doing two things I can't tell you about. We're doing one really, really fun thing I'm so excited about, and I don't think I can say yet because you're going to release this real quick. But we're so excited about her. She came to us with a new product that she wants to get developed. It's crazy innovative. It's so much fun. I'm so excited to talk about it. I can't.
Yeah.
But what we're doing right now that I can talk about is we're helping her. We had helped her in the past with her handheld, the little dog handle.
Yeah, the remote control.
Yeah, the remote control. So she came to us a couple of years. I don't know. It's been a while now. She came a while back and had basically this handle that worked well, but it needed to be injection molded properly. And she didn't have it ready for injection molded. She needed to streamline it so that she could afford to sell these things at a reasonable price. So we streamlined the insides of the remote and streamlined the outside and made sure that it was perfect for injection molding, and now she's off and running. And now the other one working with her is streamlining her pulley. Yeah. So that one's going to be really cool too. I don't know how much we can share on that either, but I'll say it and you can edit it out. But with her pulley, we are taking her bigger pulley and making it very small. So we're taking all these multiple components. I forget how many components are in the current pulley, but it's very complicated. Yeah. And taking a very complex system and making it 4 parts. And those 4 parts are going to allow her to sell it at such a lower cost to her clients that she's going to be able to sell it for a better price for them and ultimately a better product for her.
Yeah, it's going to make it more accessible. If you don't know Swift Paws is a lure chasing toy for dogs. It brings the best and fastest game of chase ever to your backyard. CEO Megan Wolfgram is a key part of our community. And Megan and Catania actually have an office right next to each other, which makes for very easy collaboration. We're located right next to Riverview Park, so sometimes you'll see the Catania team and the Swift Paws team, and they're out there and they're testing and doing
pulleys.
demos, testing pulleys.
Yeah.
But what they're able to do and really think about a product and make it sleeker, faster, easier to manufacture has such a significant benefit to these companies' bottom line. It's really what's going to allow them to scale, right, to order in economies of scale. It's going to make a huge difference. And they're also known for designing really beautiful products. And you had a vase that was featured on Good Morning America.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes. So that was, we're so proud of that one because that was the first product that Ray was able to take on back when it was Ray all by himself. So that product is our oldest product. And yeah, it made it, it's just taking something as simple as a vase, which, can be a little bit boring, but they can also be beautiful. But taking a vase and allowing it to twist open. I should have brought it. I have one in the office. It allows it to twist open, and water just comes out the bottom, and that way you can drain it easily. And then you can do one more twist, and it pulls off so you can trim the stems. So something so simple as taking care of flowers and allowing your flowers to be in a beautiful container while also taking care of them in a more innovative way. It really stays true to who we are about something that's beautiful, efficient, effective, and innovative.
Yeah, it just functions really well and looks really good doing it. What's it like to see something that you've created on Good Morning America?
It's so cool.
It has to be.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's been on Good Morning America twice now, and it's been on QVC, which QVC's cool, but Good Morning America's cooler.
It's very cool.
So yeah, it's super fun to see them out on the TV. It's about to be in more stores. I can't name the stores, but it's about to be in some more stores and make a bigger impact. And it's just so cool to see something that Ray designed, 3 years ago, making it that far. It's so cool.
On the shelves and in homes. Can you tell our listeners the name of the vase and where they can find it?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, so it's Amaranth Vase, and our inventor was Mindel Shechtman, and we have to give credit to Mindel. Mindel is just such an amazing seller, and he's marketed this thing so much. It's he's proud of it. I would hope he is. You know, he's proud of his product. You can get it at amaranthvase.com, and you can also get it on Amazon, and I'm sure there's other stores, but Amazon and amaranthvase.com.
Be sure to check it out. It's a really, really beautiful vase. So I want to get into the basics of hands-on discovery, which you've alluded to a little bit in the beginning, but working with inventors, working with early stage entrepreneurs, they have an idea, they have a sketch, and they're looking to understand how to bring that to life. And can you just walk us through that first meeting that you have where you kind of set expectations based on what's on my paper versus like what is real life possibilities?
Yeah. So typically someone will come to us with a problem. They have a problem, they have a basic idea of how they want to handle it or how they want to accomplish it. And then for them, we do a set fee. We start off with something very simple. It's just a set fee. We're going to do concepts for you and make it easy to break away if they don't have the money yet, if they're not ready, maybe they don't know if they want to go with us. So they come in, give us all their ideas. We talk about what the product is, what kind of market they're looking for, who the user is, and then we'll go and design them 3 or more concepts. And then we give them these 3 or more concepts. So the 3 concepts, we aim to have them very different for reasons so that we can target what they're looking for and make sure that they understand where they want to go and what maybe they merged 1 or 2 of the concepts. And we take those concepts and then run with it. So they'll decide at that point. They have the option of completely walking away. They can take the concepts with them. Or they have the option of continuing working with us. And at that point, then we make an actual contract. I think it allows an inventor to take a chance with a limited impact to them and see what we can handle and what we could do for them. And then, so once we do the concept, I kind of mentioned it before, we'll just start designing it and we work with them. One of the things we love doing, and we've done with a couple of our inventors recently, is a user experience deep dive. So with that is we actually take people who could potentially be a user of their product, get them in a room or whatever, and we quiz them. We start asking them about how they might use something that's similar to the product, or if they sign NDAs, we'll talk about the actual product. Ask them questions, figure out how they would use it, what are they going to do, because a product is ultimately a product. This mug is a product, right? Yeah. You're going to touch it, you're going to feel it, you're going to see it, you're going to have an experience with that product. I'm experiencing my mug right now with its delicious coffee. But yes, that experience is very important. So that is a monumental part of our products, is making sure that we understand who those people are and what they're doing. So for example, if someone's in a room and they're, let's say we're doing a puzzle table as one of our products. We had the people come in and we were watching them, right? And you can see like someone's sitting this way or someone's, sitting all over the table. So you find out how they're sitting, which is something they can't communicate to you, right? Like someone can't tell you how they're gonna sit or how they're going to look at something. So you have to observe. So
their natural behaviors.
Exactly, observing them in their natural environment. So that's a really important part of our process.
Yeah, I can't really stress how important it is as an entrepreneur to have that expertise walk you through that customer discovery process, because I'm sure you see it and I see it here all the time at Groundswell. But an entrepreneur, an inventor comes in and they've asked their family and their friends who have all told them, your idea is the best, it's the next unicorn, go do it. And you really got to get out of your immediate circle. It can't be your friends, your family, or even who you sit next to at your kid's soccer game, right? You really have to get outside of that, get outsiders' perspective to really inform that process and make sure that you are building something that is for your customer, not for you, but for your actual end user.
That's a tough one for an inventor, because you think that you have this cool idea and you're so excited about it, and if you don't focus on your person who you're selling to, then you could completely get lost. And we have had people get lost in that moment of something they're so excited and passionate about, only to get all the way down to prototype and find out that there's not really a market for it.
Yeah, and that's a painful and can be an expensive process. So working with a company that kind of navigates you through that from the very beginning when there's low risk is incredibly valuable. What are some common misconceptions people have about bringing a product to life?
Oh, that it's so easy.
Of course it is. Just build it and they will come.
Yes. That honestly is one of the difficulties we have, because 3D printers are so everywhere. Yeah. People hear product and they think that they can print anything. That's not necessarily the case. You can't always print everything. And the other misconception we get so much is that it's an easy process, right? Like that you can. They oftentimes will have people that go online and they find a company, which I'm not going to name, but they find some company that does online engineering cheap, and they come to us with these concepts, and they're calling them products, right? They come to us with these concepts and they expect it to be ready to prototype. And then they find out, well, no, you can't make that. Like, it looks really pretty, it looks really cool, but you can't make that. And so then we have to, unfortunately, tear up track with where they've gone down, and they've already spent money because they can't make it. So it's important to make sure that you understand what can and cannot be made. And if you don't, then ask the person that you're working with, can this be made? How's it going to be made? Right?
Yeah. I think we always keep in mind here at Groundswell, and especially you guys, is it's not about this one prototype. It's about scaling. It's about building a company out of it. And so whatever you make has to transfer to that. It can't just be a one-off. So you guys make beautiful products and you're known for that, but you also have some hardcore technical expertise on your team, and you can make things go really fast underwater.
Yes.
So let's get into the hard tech side of things. Tell us about the work you've been doing with some underwater drones or anything else in the kind of hard tech space.
Absolutely. So one of the products that we're super excited right now and we're in the midst of is Gyro Robotics. So Gyro Robotics is, they're based out of the New England area. They're Rhode Island, and we are designing for them a mini submersible. So what's really cool about this mini submersible is there's a couple really cool things, but one is that it's the only product that we know of in the market right now that is employing more 3D printing than any other UUV. So that's really cool and really fun for us, because right now the 3D printing materials, they have they're not rated for it, right? People haven't necessarily tested them for these environments. So we are putting them in these extreme marine environments, and they're working. So we've tested them, we've proved them. So it's using these cool 3D printed as the actual hulls. So the actual Jaya robot itself, JayaBot is what they call it. The JayaBot is unique in itself because it is cheap. As far as underwater vehicles go, it's a cheaper vehicle. So it allows the user to get multiple ones of them. So this robot, it allows it to go in surf zones and rivers and inlets, and it's twice as fast as other competitors in the market. So why that's as important is because you can take multiple sensors. Okay. So it's sensor agnostic, and it allows the robot to go up and down in the water column and measure various things that you're looking for, bathymetry or environments or chemicals or whatever the person is trying to figure out. So what's important about that is right now, most people take one. So they'll take one underwater UUV, and they'll take that and go do their measurements. But with the JayaBot, because it's more affordable, they can get multiples. They're actually sold in a set of 5 right now. When they can go out, they do multiple, and it's time stamped. So you can get an actual picture of the water column, and it does a vertical dive. So when it's swimming along, it does it horizontal, and then when it's diving, it dives horizontal or vertical, which is pretty unique. I think that's the most important thing about it, is that it is an affordable product. They try to make it a fast, affordable, efficient. What's making it affordable are the materials, as well as just being effective in its in the materials that we've chosen, inside and out.
Yeah. I think that, again, it goes back to sleeker, faster, more producible, right? And using additive manufacturing as a catalyst for that. But it also highlights that you deal with hardware companies, mm-hmm. we deal with a lot of hardware companies, and their barriers to entry are so much higher than perhaps a software company or building an app, right? Mm-hmm. All of that goes into it. So again, to have that expertise on hand that has that in mind where they're designing is incredibly valuable for your customers. I want to bring it back to your team for a little bit. And Ray's not here, but let's talk about Ray. He's not only your husband, as Stefanie mentioned, but he's the co-founder of the company, and he's just a really freaking smart dude, right?
I would hope so, yes.
He is just he's really smart, and he's really nice, and he's really generous with his time. So tell us a little bit about Ray. Maybe tell us how you met. A little bit of a love story can't be bad.
Sure. So we met in an internship in college, and we're best of friends for a long time, and then finally decided maybe we should go a little further.
Yeah.
But yeah, we both were doing mechanical engineering and doing an internship with Lockheed Martin, actually. So we met there, but yeah, Ray's experience, he's got a master's in mechanical. His passion in life is 100% marine environment. So like this Jaya robot, he's so excited about. But yeah, he loves to design and develop things that look good, right? He'll tell you look cool, but if it doesn't have that artistic appeal to it, it's not in his passion,
sure.
Right? So one of the things we talk about so much in our company is making sure that people are doing what they love, and that's because of people like Ray, right? Like we started this company because he was working in industry, black box, don't put corners on it, or don't put little nice edges on it, right? He actually got yelled at. He loves to tell this story too. He got yelled at in a design review because he had put some sort of like a swoop on one of his products, and they said, "Did you analyze that?" It's like, no, it just looked cool. So he loves to make things look cool, look good. And yes, the technical side of it has to be there. He has tons of experience with manufacturing products and machining them, and he understands how a product is made. For the most part, he'll pick up anything in a room and be like, oh yeah, they made it like this. Yeah. Right? And that's very important because you have to understand how things around you are made in order to, someone comes to you and says, well, I have this really unique idea. You have to be able to understand how that product can be made to then design it. So it's taking all those experiences of how something is made, how technically it should work, how we integrate it with these teeny tiny electronic components, right? Yeah. And making sure that everything comes together.
Yeah. Ray has like X-ray vision. That's like his superpower. He like picks up something and he like doesn't see the outside. He sees like gears and everything. Oh, yeah. That's how I envision Ray sees the world.
It's probably not wrong.
And you've also grown your team. You have employees now. And I've seen you like really invest and celebrate your employees in a lot of ways. And again, I think that comes from you and Ray stepping out of industry and going like, we want to do this and we want to do it our way and we want to do it differently, the true entrepreneur spirit. So tell us a little bit about your team and the roles you've been able to bring on and kind of what do you think is going to happen in the next maybe 6 months to a year with your team?
Oh, man. Yeah, so we do. We value our people. And one of the most important reasons we started this company, maybe it wasn't like the reason we started it, but after we started, we realized, oh my God, this doesn't exist. Why not? Why is engineering not something that can be more flexible? Why does everybody have to work 40 plus hours, 8 to 6, right, every single day? So it's very important to us that people come to us. We're looking to make it an environment that they're happy to work in. They're working on things they're passionate about. They're working in an environment that feels good to them. They have a flexible work schedule. If they don't want to work 30, our actual standard work week is 36 hours. If they don't want to work 36, that's okay. We bring them down to what makes sense for them. We have an employee that's working 5 hours, right? Like, so it's just what makes sense, and we scale it back with all of our benefits or whatever we're doing. We scale it down to something that makes sense for them. So our team, we're so proud of every person on our team because one of the very first questions we ask them is, what's your passion?
Yeah.
Right? What do you do outside of work? What do you love to do? And then if we can't find something in our positions that is going to complement that passion, they probably won't fit with our team right now because we are so small. You have to be so excited about what you're doing every day. One of the newest people we just brought in, Kenan. Sorry, Kenan. We just brought him in. He loves working on his car. So his passion in life is making his car new and fun, and he does he races it, and he's made his entire vehicle, right? So taking that, well, what do we have that complements that? Well, we make products, right? So we're making things all the time. So his passion is to put things together, right? To tinker.
Yeah.
So we've 100% made that work for him.
I see him tinkering around here all the time. I see stuff outside drying because he's painted it, or popping over to my desk asking if we have one tool or another, right? But he does. He loves to tinker, and he gets to do that every day. Yeah. And your employees get to dress casually, right, and be part of this environment, and they have a lot of flexibility, which brings us to kind of talking about family. So this is a topic that you talk about all the time, and we probably can't talk about it enough, right? But you're a CEO, but you're also a mom. Mm-hmm. And you have that balance, but you also have that never-ending push between working and being at home and satisfying all things, right? That impossible utopia that women are supposed to meet, especially women in tech. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about career and family life and kind of what you found recently that works for not only you but your family as well.
Yeah, it goes back to making sure that the environment it works for everybody, right? And I don't work 40 hours because it's just not going to work for me, right? I can't take care of my children and raise my children and do homeschool and work 40 hours. It's too much. And I do homeschool, so I'm the teacher, right? So yeah, I work less than 40, but that's okay for our company. So it's worked out for us because I can focus on them. I can focus on my career. If I need to put one or off to the side for a moment, I can because we're flexible. But it's still important that when we're flexible, that we're meeting our customers' priorities. So 100% at the back of my mind all the time, it's what's going on tomorrow. Are there deadlines that we're looking at? What's in the next coming months? So planning and making sure that we balance that. And it's a balancing act. And I'm not going to pretend like I have it figured out, right? Yeah. Nothing's ever perfect. But I think that the flexibility we have allows us to focus on one when it needs to be focused on.
And some days are better than others, right?
Absolutely.
Just like anything else.
Absolutely.
So I've taken calls with you guys when you're not at Groundswell, and I've taken calls with you, and sometimes you're on a boat, which is fun. And I've seen a big RV pull up that has a 3D printer inside of it, right? So tell us a little bit about these adventures that you go on.
Yeah, we're a little bit of the abnormal. We don't have a house. So we live either in between an RV, 2 RVs actually. So yeah, we have 2 RVs and a boat, and we live in a sailboat. The sailboat's our home. And when we're not sailing on our boat, we're here in Melbourne. We have an RV that is stationed with my parents. We call it the apartment. Yeah. So that it allows us to be able to be mobile. The other RV is very much our design lab, and it truly, the back of it does have, it's got a little mini machine shop in there, right? So it's got printers and it's got a mill. And but the reason that's important to us is because traveling is kind of our passion, right? We love to travel. We love to see new things. We love to take our kids to museums and see architecture and talk about the environment. And it's important to us not only personally but also in our company, because in our company what we like to try to do is be sustainable. We want to make sure that we can't always do this, but we do our best to be sustainable, stay true to being local, do as much as we can to make a product something you're going to be proud of. Yeah. And when we travel, it helps us to do that as well, because we're being inspired by the things around us. We're seeing new things, and for Ray, that is like 100% necessary. If he's always seeing the same things every day, you lose that creativity. Yeah. So it keeps the creativity going. It also allows us to just it allows us personally to be more sustainable. So we're living a much smaller footprint. We're not doing the giant house with the giant air conditioning and all that sort of thing. So we're very proud of being able to give back in multiple ways.
Yeah, you've carved out all these little ways that kind of meet your entrepreneurial dream, right? Both personally and professionally. Yeah. And you mentioned kind of staying true to being local. I know that you work with some great mid to large size manufacturers in the area, and that's a great thing that you can pass along to your customers, that, hey, once you've reached the point where you're ready to manufacture, we have this network of vetted people that you can trust when you're bringing your product to. I know one of the companies that you work with is Anderson Connectivity. They're a great partner here at Groundswell too. So can you talk a little bit about how you work with Anderson or a company like that?
Yeah, so it's that transitionary point. So once we start nearing the end of a prototype, and even before we're finished with our prototype, we start working with companies like Anderson of setting our customers up for production success. Right, what is that? Yes, you have a prototype, but we still want to make sure that prototype can ultimately be produced. So we go to vendors like Anderson that advise us, and they tell us, okay, here's our processes, here's what's changed recently, here's the machines we have, various tolerances, whatever have you. We work with them to make sure that our products will eventually be able to be transitioned over to their contract.
All those very nuanced, important details.
The details matter.
The details matter. Yeah. Well, we're so happy that Stefanie joined us today. We hope from this conversation that you took away that when hiring designers to help with an invention, ask how it will be made. Often inventors come to Groundswell or to Catania and they have a fantastic concept, but really understanding what can physically be made is important. That you should delve into the full customer experience that you will have when you create a product, truly understand everything that they need and how it impacts their senses. The most insightful solutions are often those that solve an understated pain point. I think that's a really important takeaway. And to be part of your local community as much as you can. If everyone goes in with the goal of succeeding together, we can all get where we need to be. Catania is going to be hosting the Groundswell Christmas party this year. They're going to give back to the South Brevard Sharing Center, which is a great organization that supports people that have housing or food insecurity in our area. So we're super excited about that. And you can find this episode of Zero Clicks on all the normal places that you can find a podcast, as well as the Groundswell Startups YouTube page, LinkedIn, and anywhere you can find us on social. And as always, we end this episode with asking our guests 3 words to describe Groundswell. So Stefanie, tell us 3 words that describe Groundswell.
Community, caring, and awesome.
I love that. And good coffee.
Good coffee. Yep, yummy coffee.
So you can learn more about Stefanie and Ray by visiting CataniaEnterprises.com. You can also connect with them on LinkedIn. If you have an idea for a product, come in and talk to them. If you have an existing product that you're looking to make better, faster, sleeker, more beautiful, come talk to them too. And if you want to learn more about Groundswell Startups, you can visit us at swellstartups.com, visit us on LinkedIn or Facebook, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Zero Clicks.